Minasan, konnichiwa. What do you want, Dick? You don't get this goddamn dubbing done right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Gameplay First, where fun is second to none. My name's Tyler, and I still love anime. This week I'm reviewing Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch for PlayStation 3. Now, when I first heard that Studio Ghibli had teamed up with Level 5, the studio responsible for the Professor Layton series, I believe my reaction was something like this. Because it's an anime, and I can react like that. But although I expected stunning visuals, story, and music, I really wasn't sure what to expect from the gameplay, and to be honest, there were good and bad aspects. But let's start from the beginning. Well, that seems like it would make logical sense, huh? You play as a young boy named Oliver, living on Earth in what I can only assume is the 1950s. Long story short, his mother dies, saving his life. It's Studio Ghibli, people. What did you think the premise was going to be? So Oliver, in his sorrow, cries on a doll that she gave him, which turns out to be a magical creature named Mr. Drippy, High Lord of the Fairies, or so he claims. Drippy realizes that Oliver must be the pure-hearted one spoken of in legends in his world, and resolves to take him there so that he can learn magic and save both worlds from Shadar the Dark Djinn, and hopefully bring his mother back to life. Now, as you've seen, the game is quite beautiful. It switches from time to time between 3D animation and hand-drawn Studio Ghibli anime for a few major cutscenes here and there, but there's actually not a whole lot of that. The music is absolutely beautiful, and the story, well, somewhat bittersweet, is still very well done. But this isn't just an anime, it's a video game, and that brings me to gameplay. Well, the overworld navigation is reminiscent of Tales of Symphonia, while the actual navigation of dungeons and towns reminded me more of Kingdom Hearts. As for the combat, look, I love real-time JRPG combat like in Kingdom Hearts. I don't mind scrolling through a text menu for a few things like spells as long as they're not the focal point of combat and I can pause to select them. I also love the turn-based combat in games like Paper Mario and Pokemon. Getting to stop and consider my next move is fantastic. But when you combine them, it kind of turns into this ugly, convoluted, difficult-to-control mess. Hell, I spent most of the boss fights running around the battlefield waiting for Drippy to toss out an MP ball so I could cast a spell. And since you share your HP with your little monster dudes, sending in a tiny fighter against a heavy hitter is basically suicide. Oh, that's right, I forgot to mention the little monsters. And, so did the game, apparently. Yeah, this game has a lot of content, but it feels relatively stuffed in. 20 hours into the game, I'm still getting tutorials on new features I wasn't aware even existed. Item crafting, monster capturing, spell casting, puzzle solving, underwater basket weaving. It's just too much. Pick a lane and stick with it. Ugh. They tried to put way too much into one game, bottom line. It's exhausting, and I only have a finite amount of brain space, and to be honest, most of it is being taken up by Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at this point. So, bottom line, is Ni no Kuni good? Yes. It's a good anime. No, I really don't think it's a good game. If you're willing to play through a game that's bogged down by way too much going on to see a pretty good Studio Ghibli anime, more power to you. Get it, enjoy it, you'll love it. But for my money, I'd rather sit down and watch Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away for the 15th time. Hell, if I'm missing the arbitrary monster catching, I'll just intersplice scenes from the Pokemon anime. Well, anyway, for Gameplay First, this is Tyler, signing off. Now, if you'll excuse me, watching Howl's Moving Castle for the 15th time actually sounds like a pretty good plan.